Greetings there people of YouTube, this is video number 1 in the chain debate I hope to be having with Stream 100 on the evidence for the theory of evolution and the Bible. I had intended for Jason to select the first topic, but he passed it over to me, so I shall begin with the area I mentioned in the challenge video to this. I'd like to discuss free will and the implications of evolution upon free will. First off, what is free will? Well, free will, in this sense, will often be defined as the power of making free choices that are unconstrained by external circumstances or by an agency such as fate or divine will. Now, whilst there will always be affecting external factors which affect a person's choice, making total free will a factual impossibility, whether evolution is true or not, we shall just have to ignore that for this cause of debate and allow for some external affecting factors. Now, people who misunderstand the evolution of human psychology will often state that the model of evolution does not allow for such a choice, as all human nature would be based upon the physical impulse. If it was not, then the species would die out. Well, yes and no. You see, many of the aspects of higher awareness and human nature can be found in the cerebrum, more specifically within the frontal lobe, which is associated with reasoning, planning, parts of speech, movement, emotions, and problem solving. You see, this part of the brain affects numerous areas. Now, emotions are important to us in our modern society. However, I'd like to highlight problem solving and planning. I'd like to talk to you about one of our oldest ancestors. Homo ergaster was one of the first known species of proto-human to make handheld stone axes. Yet, 1,000,000 years on, and our ancestors hadn't even advanced at all, not even a spear. However, this process sped up a great deal when we reached our closest of ancestors, especially when it came to us. But why? Reason, restricted traits of thought. Now, Homo ergaster was a good thinker, don't get me wrong, in that he could associate things from the environment such as birds migrating to seasonal change and all these things. But they didn't have the creative and developmental mind that we do. That would evolve over the next 1.3 million years to finally result in us, Homo sapien. This gave us a superior advantage over life, in that it allowed us to grow rapidly from rubbing 2 sticks together to smashing atoms together. But how? Each step, each generation of proto-humans slowly drew closer and closer to a creative mind, developing a more and more advanced cerebrum. However, there was another effect. As this part of the brain helped us develop within our environment physically by the ability to have deeper levels of thought processing, imagination, emotion, and creativity, etc., these led to the very matters which, when combined, allow for us to have what we recognize as free will and choice, to make decisions based on more than just primitive impulse. It has not just been a side effect, it has led to being one of evolution's greatest successes. And doesn't that show? Just view how much the world has been covered by humanity. It has allowed us to settle from the most freezing of the Arctic environments to our most scorching of the deserts. It has even replaced many of our physical adaptations to a point. We have no claws, no teeth, no venom, but we have our imagination and our ability to invent. Without our notion of free will, this would be impossible, and so we have evolved. And yes, animals do also have a cerebrum, though less advanced, but we just have to look at cases such as Jambo, the gorilla, to see that animals also have levels of empathy and free will to act upon this. That is my argument for free will from an evolutionary perspective. And now on to my return point. The return points don't have to be with the same topic, so at the end of your next video you could question anything from fossil dating methods to transitional species, etc. For this one, however, I will use the same topic but on the counter. I wish to now discuss free will in the case of the Bible and the Abrahamic gods. There are a couple of areas which raise concern in this area. For example, if God exists throughout all of time and space, he knows how the course of events will play out and eventually end. The moment God tampers with this in any way, it means that he is having to guide it in a direction he wishes. This is enforcing a divine plan. The moment there is a divine plan that your God has, all free will is lost, because everything is already preset. I'd like to remind you of the definition of free will. The power of making free choices that are unconstrained by external circumstances or by an agency such as fate or divine will. Highlight divine will and fate. This supposed God knows of and has control over every situation, decision, and factor. Not a few things affecting decision, like evolution. The entire lot. As for a case within the Bible, Okay, I'll give you one. Exodus 7:3-4 says, "But I will harden the Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you. Then I will lay my hand on Egypt, and with mighty acts of judgment I will bring out my people, the Israelites." God just openly admitted he would take away the Pharaoh of Egypt's free will, leading to numerous plagues, ending with the worst of all in the form of Passover, the death of every firstborn in Egypt. So Jason, what evidence and explanations do you have for free will under the Christian God? Also remember to finish your video with a criticism of evolution again. Thank you, this is Essence of Thought, out.